Hey, all you Minties! Last month of the year, last week of the year, last day of the year. And what better way to say goodbye to 2021 than talk about the upcoming collected editions coming out in January of 2022. So let's do this thing. Welcome back to your monthly budget meeting. So this is the segment where I talk about the upcoming collected editions for the next month, and next month being January of 2022. So the one thing I always like to stress is that some of the books that you may have seen in the past few couple of months in solicitations have slid into 2022, so dates are always subject to change. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about this list. And we do put a written documentation of this list. It's up on our Patreon, and the link is in the description of this video to get to our Patreon. And thank you so much to our existing patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be making videos like this without you all. And thank you to everybody that watches my videos. Like, 2021 has been an amazing year. It's been crazy ups and downs, and I'm going to do a retrospect of doing YouTube videos full-time here in the next coming weeks. But thank you all. It's been a hell of a ride, and best thing I've ever done. So, last day, and we get Cobra Kai Season 4! Woohoo! Yes, I'm really excited about Cobra Kai. But dates always subject to change. My top 10 list of suggested collected editions coming out in January, that will come out in, I think, Sundays when I got that mapped out. And tomorrow, Saturday, is the live stream. I got to do an overview of Green Arrow Volume 2. And then, of course, talk about the books I'm excited for in 2022. So that video will come out sometime next week. I just have to make sure there's no Marvel announcements that get approved before then. And how about that Miracle Man Omnibus, huh? Damn, I've been waiting a long time to announce that one, and so happy I got to partake in that big celebration of the character. So, let's go ahead and get started with the week of January 4th. But before we do, just a small reminder to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, share the video, and make sure you're notified. So ring that bell for notifications. All of that helps with our YouTube algorithm and this channel keep growing. And thank you, all of you that have done that previously. So, January 4th, from Marvel Comics, we have Avengers by Jason Aaron, trade paperback volume 9, World War She-Hulk. World War She-Hulk. What a title. I love that cover. Collecting issues 46 through 50 of Avengers by Jason Aaron. I know we have some upcoming OHC, so oversized hardcovers, but no announcement of an omnibus yet for that era. Black Cat Volume 6. So glad this series is continuing. Collecting Black Cat, the 2020 series 8 through 10. Giant Size Black Cat Infinity Score. This is the Jed MacKay series, and it's a series not a lot of people talk about, but it's a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying that series. We have Conan Chronicles, Epic Collection, Shadows over Kush. Collecting Conan the Avenger 1 through 19. So this is the stuff written by Fred Van Lente, the guy that I think did probably the best run on Marvel Zombies. I know that was a Robert Kirkman thing, but I really like Fred Van Lente. And he co-wrote one of the greatest underrated series, and that is Incredible Hercules. Artwork in there by Brian Ching. And we're also going to get the Gamma Flight miniseries. This is the stuff by Al Ewing, co-written by Crystal Frazier. And collecting Gamma Flight, the 5-issue miniseries. Marvel Infinity Saga poster book. There's two phases, Phase 1 and Phase 2, both of them coming out the same day. Marvelverse Morbius is coming out. This collects Amazing Spider-Man 101 and 102. Marvel 2-in-1, number 15, Morbius Bond of Blood, and material from Spider-Man number 5. By the way, for those of you that have been asking me about where the Marvel Trades video was this week was busy, and I had to do a lot of reading, basically because of the upcoming collected editions research that I do. Then, of course, the reading that I do for my the grand finale of the year, which are my top 10 favorite reads. So I really lost, not really track of time. It just got to be too much, and I had to cut one small segment out this week. And those books will be showing back up next week when I return back to those Marvel trades, which comes out every Tuesday. But thank you to the folks that reached out and asked if I was still doing those. And yeah, it was just mainly on me. Apologies for that. Mighty Marvel Masterworks Fantastic Four Volume 2. Yeah, this is both the Frank Cho cover, which is the standard edition cover, and a direct market cover will be available the same day. Collecting Fantastic Four 11 through 20 plus annual number 1. My daughters and I are going to review the Incredible Hulk Volume 1 Mighty Marvel Masterworks. Really excited to see what they think of this particular character. Because they both have been enjoying the Marvel Masterworks run. And speaking of Marvel Masterworks, we are going to get Marvel Masterworks Fantastic Four Volume 23. We're getting into the John Byrne era here, collecting the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Those are the entries for the Fantastic Four in there. Fantastic Four 251 to 257. And annual number 17, as well as Avengers 23 and Thing number 2. Thing was a big part of the Fantastic Four then, because John Byrne was also writing that particular series. And Marvel Masterworks, The Invincible Iron Man Volume 14 is coming out that day. So collecting Iron Man 129 through 144. This is the stuff that's written by David Michelinie, and Bob Layton is drawing most of the stuff in here. Moon Knight Epic Collection Shadows of the Moon is getting a reprint that particular day. This is a big week for Marvel Comics. This collects Moon Knight 5 through 23. Doug Moench and Bill Sienkiewicz, of course, working on this particular title. Then we're gonna get Non-Stop Spider-Man. I can't wait to read this. This is actually my next book I'm reading this week. Joe Kelly, Chris Bachalo, apparently that's the way you pronounce his name. I always thought it was Bacalo. But collecting Non-Stop Spider-Man 1 through 5. How has this series, I've not heard a lot of people talk about. Is it still ongoing, or did it get canceled? What's going on with that? Because that's a hell of a team to be working on a book. And speaking of hell of a team to be working on a book, Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. This is the day that it comes out. I know some people have gotten it overseas. It's really cool. Very lucky. Y'all got an early Christmas present. But this collects Ultimate Spider-Man 1 through 39 and the half issue. And if you want to see an big deep dive overview of that, I did a video of that this past Monday. All 3 covers will be available that particular day. And Avengers Epic Collection Judgment Day. So many people have asked when this was coming. When Curtis and I got to announce it, it's been a few months ago. It made me really happy to get to announce this one. So this collects the Avengers 278 to 285, annual number 16, Marvel graphic novel Emperor Doom, X-Men vs. Avengers 1 through 4, and West Coast Avengers volume 2, or annual number 2. Not volume number 2. And we're also going to get the Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 2. This is the reprint. So this is the new printing of that particular book. And I will go ahead and say this, that both covers will be available this day, but I will let you know some of the other reprints. Sometimes it's a direct market cover, sometimes it's the standard edition cover, and then a few weeks later, even a month later, is when the other cover will come out. But for this one here, this new printing, it will be both covers. And yes, it will have the new spine design on it. New Mutants Omnibus Volume 1, the Bill Sienkiewicz cover, is available that particular day. And then Uncanny X-Men, this is the stuff that starts off with Volume 1 with Giant Size and has Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Dave Cockrum. But Volume 2 is being reprinted that day. I know it gets a little confusing. This is why I have written documentation. From DC Comics, Naomi Season 1 trade paperback is coming out. It looks like it has a CW cover on it. So this collects issues 1 through 6. I really like this series. I know it's Brian Michael Bendis, and he's kind of reusing what he did with the idea behind Riri Williams and Miles Morales. But I really like this particular story. You also have Dave Walker in here, but then you have Jamal Campbell's artwork, which is freaking top-notch. And, I know I talk about Bendis an awful lot, about how I'm not the biggest fan of his, but I did really like Miles Morales. Like, that omnibus was really good. Until Bendis started being Bendis with but anyway, I did enjoy Naomi. Batgirl of Burnside Omnibus. This is the New 52 era of Batgirl, and this collects issues 35 through 52. Batgirl Annual number 3, Secret Origins number 10, and DC Sneak Peek Batgirl number 1. This is a book that was previously canceled and put back on the catalog. And a lot of this is drawn by Babs Stars, if I'm not mistaken. Wonder Woman, the Silver... Man, we're getting 2 DC Omnis. Watch out now. That's cool. But Wonder Woman, the Silver Age Omnibus, is coming out that day. And this collects Wonder Woman 98 through 123. So this is volume 1 of the Silver Age. Very cool that that's coming out that same day. It's rare that we see DC do 2 or 3 Omnis a month. So cool that we're getting it on the same day. Now, as far as the world of manga, we have Battle Angel Alita Volume 4 coming out that day, containing chapters 26 through 34 of Battle Angel Alita, the stuff that's been previously collected in the hardcover format. I did a video comparing the two. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Stories Water and Flame is coming out that day. So I think this is a spin-off of the Demon Slayer series, which I just started reading. The box set came out back in November, and I finally got around to reading it. Arrow Ninja Scrolls Volume 2. So the reason this got my attention because I thought that was Mai Shiranui on the cover, but it is not. Apparently this is a new series and by Ghost Ship, and I should have known by the bandana that she's wearing that she is not a Mai Shiranui. But it's mature rated manga from the creator of Cat in a Hot Girl's Dorm. Now that's a title I need to check out. Beyond Clouds is coming out that day, and this is from Kodansha. I'm not sure what this is, but just the colors on that cover are breathtaking. I love the look of it. Mashal, Magic and Muscles, my volume 4 is coming out. My daughter, Miss Lydia, loved the first 2 volumes. And of course the biggie is One Piece Box Set 4 coming out that day. From other publishers, we have Transformers Volume 4 Declaration of War. So this is the new series of Transformers, and it's not part of the Phase 1, Phase 2, that era. This is the new series that they relaunched a couple of years ago. I want to say in 2019 is when the series originally came out. So this is the series by Brian Ruckley, and this collects Transformers 25 through 30, Valentine's Day Special one-shot, and Transformers Escape, the miniseries. It's a 5-issue miniseries. Witchfinder Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out that day. So there was I think this was originally solicited for October, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say some places already got copies of it, but this is the date that I have for the book market and the direct market. So this collects the trade paperbacks 4 through 6. This is the Mike Mignola part of the Hellboy universe. As a matter of fact, they put the world of Hellboy on there. From Dark Horse Comics, we also have a new printing of Usagi Yojimbo's Saga Volume 3. This is the 2nd edition, and it is in softcover format. Tom Clancy's The Division. Remission is coming out. And then from Image Comics, we have Beauty, trade paperback, Volume 6. And this is written by Jeremy Hahn, Jason Hurley. And then you have artwork in here from Danny Luckert and Matthew Dow Smith. No idea what this is about, but this collects the Beauty 27 through 30. From Boom Studios, we have Basilisk, Volume 1. Cullen Bunn coming back with Jonas Scharf, collecting issues 1 through 4 of this new series. It's Cullen Bunn and it's Boom Studios. They make some great stuff together. And speaking of Boom Studios, Something is Killing the Children, Volume 4 is scheduled to come out this day. And that means it might be a while before we get a second oversized collection of this series, unless they put in the spin-off series in here. But this collects Something is Killing the Children 16 through 20. And from that very same week, we have on the one hand, on the other hand, graphic novel. This is by R.O. Bleckman, and this is published by Fantagraphics, and Fantagraphics always publishes great stuff. Pogo, the complete syndicated strips, hardcover box set 7 through 8. This is a series I've been slipping on. I think I have the first 2 box sets and that's it. But this is box set 7 and 8 of volumes 7 and 8 coming out. The Phantom Complete Dailies hardcover volume 23, collecting 1971 to 1973. So far so good. Is coming out in hardcover format as well as graphic novel format that day. And this is published by Centraya. Hellman of Hammerforce from Rebellion 2000 AD. Jerry Finley Day is the writer on this, and Mike Dory is the artist on this. Glad to see a lot more 2000 AD. And speaking of 2000 AD, of course, I have to mention Judge Dredd, the Complete Case Files. Volume 38 is coming out that day. Man, I've got some catching up to do because I'm still behind on my Judge Dredd reading. But volume 38, I think I'm on volume 14 now. And that video will come out in January sometime. Snowpiercer box set, volumes 1, 2, and 3. This is the date that I now have for it. I know it's been announced before, but this is the new date. Alright, moving into the second week of the month, January 11th or 12th, depending on where you get your books. From Marvel Comics, we have Aliens, the original year's Omnibus Volume 2. This is $125 and collecting the classic Dark Horse era of Aliens. And Avengers West Coast Epic Collection, Darker Than Scarlet. The John Byrne stuff here. We have Avengers West Coast 53 through 64, Annual number 5, Avengers 311 to 313, and material from Avengers Annual number 19, and What the number 6. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, Volume 7, Lockdown, collecting issues 31 through 36 of Daredevil, and his run has been freaking awesome. Not only him, but you also have Marco Cicchetto, Stefano Landini, Mike Hawthorne. It's just an amazing time to be reading Daredevil. Captain America by Ed Brubaker, Omnibus Volume 1. This is the new printing, and both the direct market cover and the standard edition cover are going to be available that same day. Immortal Hulk Volume 11. So this is interesting because we've already had the series wrap up in trade paperback format. I mean, the story is over, but this collects like some companion stuff. So Immortal Hulk Best Defense, Defenders Best Defense, Absolute Carnage, Immortal Hulk number 0, Immortal She-Hulk number 1, King in Black, Immortal Hulk number 1, Immortal Time of Monsters, a story. Now, before people ask, is this going to be collected in omnibus format? I don't know. I mean, odds are probably one day, but I don't know how it'll be collected and whether it'll be 2 omnis, because, I mean, it went 50 issues, but then what about all the one-shots? I know some people consider those just as important as those issues, so I guess we'll see. Shang-Chi by Jean Luen Yang, and this is Volume 2, Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. So this keeps continuing that particular series, which was actually really good. I'm glad that Master Kung Fu is back in single-issue format every month. Star Wars Bounty Hunters. So this is... okay, it's War of the Bounty Hunters, but this is Star Wars / Bounty Hunters series. So collecting Star Wars Bounty Hunters 12 through 11 as they're going through that particular crossover. And then Captain America, the United States of Captain America. So, I think all I've seen are just pictures of this particular series, collecting the United States of Captain America 1 through 5. But I do like Christopher Cantwell, and Del Eaglesham is the artist. And then you've got covers by Alex Ross. I'll definitely be checking that out. But like I don't know anything about it outside of some of the pictures that I saw a couple of months ago. X of Swords is getting a trade paperback. So collecting X of Swords Creation, Stasis and Destruction, X-Men 12 through 15, Excalibur 13 through 15, Marauders 13 through 15, X-Force 13 through 14, New Mutants number 13, Wolverine 6 through 7, Cable 5 through 6, Hellions 5 through 6, X-Factor number 4, $75, 720 pages. My goodness, this is a fat book, but that's also a big price for this book. I think the hardcover was $100. It's the same material as the hardcover, but I will say if you're getting the Reign of X era, the Dawn of X era, this is the stuff that's not collected in there. A couple of issues are, so there is a little bit of double dipping, but most of the stuff in here is in the X of Swords crossover, or 10 of Swords. X-Men Mutant Massacre Omnibus. This is the new date, and it looks like it's been locked in, so that's a good sign. I hope that's where it stays. Both the direct market and the standard edition cover will be available that day. X-Men Omnibus Volume 1, the new printing, is available that day, but only the Alex Ross cover. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Not the direct market cover. And this is the new printing. I'm assuming it will have the new spine. This is the series that predates the Uncanny X-Men era, which is giant size X-Men and onward. So this is the classic Stan Lee, Jack Kirby era. And we're also getting a reprint of Spider-Man by Roger Stern Omnibus. Both the direct market cover and the standard edition cover. And then Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 3 is coming out that day. But only the standard edition cover, which is the Jeromo Pena cover. This is where things get a little confusing, but you know, it's still rolling with the punches of going to a new distributor, so keep that in mind. From DC Comics, my goodness, we have 2 Omnis. Man, what's up, DC? I see ya. First, we have a DMZ Compendium Volume 2. This is the Brian Wood stuff. And this collects DMZ 37 through 72. I believe that wraps up the era because there were only 5 oversized hardcovers. So I think that wraps up that particular series. Batman No Man's Land Volume 1 finally coming out. This was originally solicited for October, I want to say. But because of delays like everybody else, it's been pushed back until January. And for those people that are wondering when my top 10 recommended buys is coming out, that will come out this Sunday, and you damn right you're going to see Batman No Man's Land in there. The Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 2 coming out this day, collecting Books of Magic 33 through 75, Books of Magic Annual 1, 2, and 3, Books of Fairy 1 through 3, Vertigo Winter's Edge, glad they kept that in there, the 3-issue miniseries, Hellblazer, Books of Magic 1 and 2, Books of Fairy Molly Story, the 4-issue miniseries, and Vertigo Secret Files Hellblazer number 1. This is a big book. This is 1,488 pages. This is thicker than a Snicker, baby. And it's $150. This is the stuff by Peter Gross now, who has taken over the writing duties of Mike Carey, but was also the ongoing writer at the time. Or, I'm sorry, ongoing artist. Batman vs. Ra's al Ghul. So, Neil Adams comes back, and this collects issues 1 through 6. I assume this is a new series. Will somebody... I don't think this is classic stuff being recolored. They already did that with the first Neil Adams Omnibus. I assume this is new. This is a hardcover edition, so please let me know if this was a miniseries, if you have read it, what you thought about it. From the world of manga, we have Case Closed, Volume 81. Holy crap, 81. That's insane. Daily report about my witch senpai. Alright, Mao Volume 3, continuing Rumiko Takahashi's new series. Does Hot Elf live next door to you? Nah, man, I ain't got nothing but old people living next door to me. Pandora in Crimson Hell Ghost Urn, Volume 15. I dig that cover. It's got a... Pandora in Crimson Shell... I misread that, sorry. Not Hell. Crimson Shell Ghost URN. Ghost Urn. So, I assume this has to do with Masamune Shiro's work in Ghost in the Shell. And it looks like he is credited here, but I've not heard of the series. Has anybody been reading this? Looks interesting. I really like that cover. From Dark Horse Comics, we have The Amazing Screw On Head. I love that title. Big shout out to my buddy Chris. I don't know if he's still watching or not, but at one time when he was working at a production company, they were opting out for the Amazing Screw-On Head series. This is a Mike Mignola creation, by the way. But this also has "And Other Curious Objects." This is going to be available in paperback format. So it's going to have the Magician and the Snake. And if you've read Hellboy, you know how important that particular story is. But what I was going to say, man, he loves the Hellboy universe. And it broke his heart when the production company eventually passed on the project. I think somebody ended up doing a little short, this was years ago, of The Amazing Screw-On Head. But I'm not sure whatever happened to that, if they ever went full-blown with the series or not. Malika, Warrior Queen, Volume 2 is coming out that same week, as well as Rewild. This is by Devin Grayson, and Yana Adamovic is the artist on the book. And it's getting a lot of high praise. It's getting a lot of high praise from other creators, like I know Brian K. Vaughan, Mark Buckingham speak highly of the series, Mark Waid. I don't know what this is. All I know is that I've heard it compared to Fables meets The Fisher King. And it's supposed to be a pretty dark story. And Devin Grayson is somebody that's hit and miss. I mean, she did some crazy things on Nightwing, but she did give us a really good Black Widow series. So I like to know where people stand with her writing. Maybe it's case by case. That's the way I do it. I don't judge her purely with what she did with the Nightwing, but The Witcher Volume 6, Witch's Lament. And man, Volume 6 of this stuff, collecting issues 1 through 4 of the Dark Horse comic series, The Witch's Lament. And I assume one day this will all be collected in a library edition format, if I'm not mistaken, if they're following that pattern. Sonic the Hedgehog, the Encyclopedia. See? Play on words. Deluxe Edition, as well. That is a beautiful looking set. And not the only art book there, or encyclopedia, we're also getting the art of Halo Infinite Deluxe Edition. The EC Archives is getting a Crime Illustrated. Okay, so this is really interesting because I thought this stuff was being printed at Fantagraphics. Yeah, no, Fantagraphics was doing some stuff. Alright, but EC Crime Illustrated is coming out. This collects Crime Illustrated 1 through 3. So you have some stuff in here by Reed Crandall, and Wally Wood is the big name here, as well as Joe Orlando. But Al Feldstein is one of the big writers on this particular series. That's interesting. That I always wonder how those copyrights fall. Like, why does Fantagraphics print some of the stuff, and then of course Dark Horse, and a lot of it came from the Gemstone Publishing when they were doing those particular collections. I wish they would reprint some of the older ones. Sorry, that just reminded me how we don't have those older collections being reprinted. For some of the people that have missed out on the hardcovers, they're doing softcovers now. Alright, let's keep moving with Grendel, Devil's Odyssey. This is Matt Wagner continuing his Grendel series. This is collecting the 8-issue maxi series, I guess, or mini series of Devil's Odyssey. I heard a rumor that those were coming out, not a rumor, maybe it was a solicit I saw. I gotta look at my solicits one more time. That those were coming out in hardcover format. Star Wars Adventures, Weapon of the Jedi is coming out from IDW, as well as Sonic the Hedgehog Volume 9, the Chow Races and Badnik Bases. 6 Sidekicks of Traeger Keaton from Image Comics is being published that day. This is Volume 1, and this is Kyle Stark's new series with Chris Schweitzer. Kyle Stark is a funny guy. He's the guy that did, Sex Castle. I know Wonder Matty is a huge fan of his writing. That Texas Blood Volume 2 is coming out that same week. And I believe that this one here is written by Chris Condon. That's who it is. And Jacob Phillips is drawing the book. So this is a dark and twisted Texas mystery with tons of heart. Collecting issues 7 through 12 of that particular series. A book I'm very excited to read is The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. This is the first trade paperback. And Faithless is coming out in trade paperback format, as well as Killer, the hardcover edition, Volume 5. Ablaze is publishing a book called A Difficult Thing, The Importance of Admitting Mistakes. I've gotten a couple of Ablaze books. And the cover really is what piques my interest. From Dynamite, we're getting Green Hornet Skylights, trade paperback. And Barbarella, if you've not read it, the Humanoid is publishing Barbarella in trade paperback format. Intertwined Ultimate Edition is coming out that same week. This is a trade paperback format by Fair Square Comics. It's an interesting price point of $29 by Fabrice Sapolsky and Fred Pham Chong. And Veronica Lopez are the creators behind this. Warrior, Immigrant, Hero. I have no idea what this is. I just read Ultimate Edition, and there was something that spoke to me about that particular cover that I really dug. From Aftershock Comics, we're getting Miles to Go trade paperback by Clay Moore and Stephen Molnar, collecting the first 5 issues of this series. Looks interesting. They also publish some great stuff. From Oni Press, we're getting Petrograd, trade paperback format by Philip Gilalt and Dave Stone. Tyler Crooks applying that art on the cover. And also from Aftershock, we're getting Silver City. This is by Olivia Cuartero Briggs, Luca Merrill, and the cover art is by Roberta Ingranata. 128 pages in this particular volume, collecting issues 1 through 5, $16.99. And from Xenoscope Entertainment, we're getting Unbound. This is by Ralph Tedesco and Oliver Borges, with the cover art by Leonardo Pacchiarotti. And this collects issues 1 through 5 of Unbound. Not sure what it is, but that cover is creepy as hell. That might be up my alley. Now, here is a quick word from our sponsor. If you live in Europe and are interested in pre-ordering or purchasing Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC big books within the EU. Flat shipping of €9.90 for EU countries. Extremely careful and sturdy packaging. Emails are answered within 24 hours. And they have a superb selection of new releases and out-of-print books on their website. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com for more great deals and rare titles. And for a limited time, you can use the code Near Mint Condition, all one word, at the checkout for free shipping to all EU countries with your first order. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Moving into the third week, January 18th, from Marvel Comics, we have Amazing Spider-Man Beyond Volume 1. So this is continuing the 2018 series, even though it's labeled as a Volume 1, from the one that started by Nick Spencer. But this continues that series with issues 75 through 80, as well as 78 Point Bay, even though it's 78 Point Beyond. Zeb Wells and Patrick Gleason working on this new era of Spider-Man. Is it a new Spider-Man behind the mask? Only one way to find out. Hawkeye Epic Collection. Hawkeye is getting his own Epic Collection. This is crazy. I remember a time when Marvel said, not everybody's going to get their Epic Collection. We're only going to concentrate on 4 and then 6. And man, it's awesome. Because your favorite character might get his own Epic Collection one day. I mean, unless your favorite character is already Wolverine or Captain America or Iron Man. But Hawkeye's getting his own Epic Collection. That's badass. Hawkeye 1 through 4. Avengers 16, 63 through 65, 189 and 223. Marvel Team Up 22, 92 and 95. Captain America 317 plus material from Tales of Suspense 57, 60 and 64. Marvel Tales 100. Marvel Fanfare 339, not 339, but 3 and 39, and Marvel Super Action number 1. Now, I'm sure the question is going to be, is this going to be collected in Avengers Epic Collections one day? I'm sure some of it will, all the Avengers stuff will, but I don't know about the Marvel Tales stuff that feature Hawkeye or the miniseries. I don't see those happening. Miles Morales, Volume 6, All Eyes on Me. So Miles looks like he's got a new costume, and I remember looking at some of the artwork, like some of the sketches, and I thought it was going to be pink, but it looks like that is red. Collecting Miles Morales Spider-Man 29 through 31 and Miles Morales Amazing or Spider-Man Annual number 1 from Saladin Ahmed and Christopher Allen doing the artwork in here. We're also getting a Reign of X trade paperback, Volume 8. Collecting that specific era of X-Men. I don't really like to talk about exactly what's solicited in there because 9 times out of 10 it's been wrong, just because they change things a lot of the time. So as soon as I get it for the advanced look at books, I'll be Happy to talk about that. Oh, I'm so happy to talk about this. Spider-Woman, Volume 3, Back to the Basics. Collecting issues 11 through 16. I asked if anybody had been reading Black Cat, and I feel the same about Spider-Woman. It's a great series by Carla Pacheco, and the artwork is by Pere Perez. Phenomenal artwork. I think a lot of people were sleeping on those titles. I don't know if they're ever going to come out with hardcover editions of them. It would be cool, but the trades have been so good. Savage Sword of Conan, the original Marvel years, Volume 6. My goodness, how time flies. So Volume 6 of Savage Sword of Conan coming out that week. This is the stuff that's all in black and white. It's the mature content. It is this particular era is written by Michael Fleischer, drawn by Big John Buscema. Both covers will be available that particular day. And keep in mind, Savage Sword of Conan was also double sized, like it was magazine size, but the pages were also, there were a lot of pages in there. For example, this book has 1,016 pages, retailing for $125, but only collecting issues 73 to 87 of Savage Sword of Conan, as well as Marvel Comics Super Special. So the books were giant size in page count, that is. X-Men Inferno Omnibus, this is where the direct market cover is going to be found. This is the Headshots cover. So only the direct market cover is going to be available that day. From DC Comics, we have Batman The Long Halloween Deluxe Edition, the sequel, Dark Victory. It's a long, ridiculous title, but excited that this is finally coming out in Deluxe Edition. It's been available in trade paperbacks, hardcovers, and a fat trade paperback, Absolute Edition. But this collects all 13 issues as well as Dark Victory New Edition. Absolute. I don't know what Dark Victory New Edition is. I'm interested to see what that is. 416 pages, $49.99. If you've not read it, it's a great read. Crime Syndicate coming out that week. This is the new series by Andy Schmidt, and Kieran McCown is the artist on it. All 6 issues of that is collected in trade paperback format, $17.99. And Absolute Fourth World coming out. This is Absolute Fourth World by Jack Kirby, Volume 2, finishing out that particular series that he did when he went over from Marvel to DC. The book has 840 pages, $150, but the design of that book is just gorgeous. And I will be picking up a Volume 1 because I'm an idiot and getting the... Even though I already have the Omnibus. This is stuff that's already been collected in Omnibus format, but just the presentation of this. And it just makes me happy that the Absolute formats are back. From the world of manga, we have Abandoned Empress Volume 1 coming out. And Opossums Volume 8. So at first glance, I thought these ladies were from Claymore. But no, this is a Nihei series and it has nothing to do with Claymore. Although, I don't know. It might. Published by Vertical. This is a series I need to check out. So I like Nihei. Beastars continuing their successful series, Volume 16. I saw in Japan, they released a box set. So I'd love to see that come out in America one day once the series is over. Number 5, Volume 3. That series was so good. The first volume is so good. I need to pick up Volume 2 and then when this one comes out. And a series that has been getting a lot of hype overseas from a lot of my viewers that have asked me if I have read it or if I plan on reading it. And this, anytime I see Record of, I always think of like, oh, maybe they're doing Record of Lotus War. But no, this is Record Ragnarok. So it's a brand new series published by Viz here in America. And has nothing to do with Record of Lotus War. Way of the House Husband. I read the first 2 volumes of that. This is about a gentleman that was in the Yakuza and now is a house husband. So he was cool at one time and now he's a house husband. And I was cool at one time. And now I do videos like this. So that's even cooler. My Little Pony Transformers Magic of Cybertron, the follow-up to My Little Pony Transformers. Series will always remind me of my daughter. Like when I used to read My Little Pony to her, when we used to collect the single issues, and then we transition over to Transformers, and hopefully we'll transition over to X-Men. Don't break my heart, kid. G.I. Joe, The Real American Hero, Volume 25. So this continues Larry Hama's run on the series. And by continue, I mean, like, this particular series is like, hey, what if G.I. Joe by Marvel never ended? And Larry Hama continued writing his story. That's what this is. They did the same thing with Transformers, but Transformers didn't... I don't think... They only had enough, like, for 3 volumes. This has been going on for a while. Collecting issues 276 and to 285. Again, written by Larry Hama as if he had never stopped writing G.I. Joe. But that's cool. I like that. Junk Wraith. No idea what this is, but I really dig that cover. Also published by IDW. From Image Comics, we have Chew, Volume 2. And has anybody been reading this series? Because, well, I'm a big fan of Chew, the CHEW Chew series. And I know that, you know, it's not the same team. It's the same art. It's the same writer, but not the same artist. But I wonder if anybody has been reading this series, and I hope one day it's going to be collected, or it's popular enough to collect it in a hardcover format. But this collects issues 6 through 10, $16.99. Compass is coming out. This is Volume 1. This is a pretty interesting series because, okay, so the creators are Robert McKenzie, Dave Walker, Justin Greenwood. But it states, Greg Rucka proudly presents a new direction in adventure. So this Greg Rucka, is he the seal of approval? I think this is from the pages of Old Guard. So maybe that's why he gave his blessing. Like, yeah, sure. Follow the characters of Old Guard and do what you will with them. Or until I use them in the next book. Yes, from the legendary Howard Chaykin. Hey Kids Comics. Hey Kids Comics. There we go. Trade paperback Volume 2, Profits and Loss. This is like a behind the scenes of the wonderful people that put these books together. The comic books, like the men and women that help put these books and bring them to us. Firefly Return to Earth, that was Volume 2. This is the hardcover format. And we're also getting Faithless 2, or Faithless Volume 2, from Brian Azzarello. Killer Omnibus, Volume 2, is coming out that same week. And the complete works of Fante Bukowski in trade paperback format, as well as Constellations. Now, Constellations, this looks pretty interesting because at first glance, I thought that this was, how do I put it, the Tomb Raider. And there's nothing wrong with Tomb Raider. I used to play Lara Croft Tomb Raider all the time. But it looks like it's a deeper read than that. This is published by Black Panel Press, and it's by Vincent Pompetti. So he's both the writer and artist on this particular collection here. And Action Tank. Oh, I love the name. I love that cover. This is from Scout Comics. And this is written and drawn by Mike Barry. Crude, a memoir. This is published by Graphic Mundi, PSU Press. And it is written by Pablo Fajardo, and it is his own story. He was an Ecuadorian lawyer and activist, and it's his first-hand account of Texaco's involvement in the Amazon and all the legal battles that took place after that. I've never heard of this, honestly, of the publisher, I don't think. So that looks really interesting. His Dark Materials, so I assume based on the novels. This is the graphic novel Subtle Knife. Heavy Metal Magazine is publishing Never Never. This is by Mark McCann and Phil Buckingham. It's good to see Heavy Metal still at it. Pacific Rim Blackout, the graphic novel format, is coming out, as well as Pacific Rim Ultimate Omnibus. And this is by Legendary. Now, it says Ultimate Omnibus GN, but, I mean, the picture looks like a hardcover, and the retail price is $99. I assume this omnibus is in hardcover format. I don't know if it's going to be oversized or not. Smurfs 3-in-1 from Paper Cuts. Now, I used to get the hardcovers of this, but that line looks to be discontinued. I don't think they're publishing anything further past Volume 5. So this might be the way that I'm going to pick them up. So if anybody else has been getting Peyo's Smurfs, let me know. Van Nath. This is a book published by Humanoids here in America, written by Matteo Mastragostino and Paolo Castaldi, supplying the artwork for this particular book. Barry Brook School graphic novel box set, Awkward Brave Crush, is coming out this week. And from Valiant Comics, we're getting the Exo Man Award, the 2020 series, trade paperback volume 2. Last week of the month, January 25th, from Marvel Comics, we have Conan, People of Black Circle, and Other Stories. So this is the series that looks like it's not going to be collected in epic format because this is by Fred Van Lente. So it collects Conan and the People of the Black Circle 1 through 4, Children of the Sun, One Shot, Exiles, and then material from Dark Horse Presents 21, and Robert E. Howard's Savage Sword 1 through 4 and 6 through 10. So probably a lot of the stuff is not going to be in epic format. And speaking of epic format, we have Daredevil Epic Collection going out west. I remember when Curtis and I got to announce this. We were trying to guess, because we only had the title, we didn't have a cover, we didn't have anything. We were trying to guess what was collected in here, and I think, yeah, we got it 100% right. Daredevil 87 through 107, and Avengers 111. I think we took it to 106, I can't remember. It's been sold, that was a long time ago. Deadpool Black, White, Blood Treasury Edition. These are those bigger size books. I've done overviews of Wolverine, and I've done overview of Carnage. Black, White, and Blood Treasury Edition. So I'll be doing an advanced look at that when it comes out. Marvel Voices Legacy. So this is just different stories from different characters in here, like Brother Voodoo, or Dr. Voodoo, sorry. He's Dr. Voodoo now. Luke Cage, Spectrum, Shuri, and just through different parts and times of the Marvel Universe. Mighty Thor, finally getting that reprint. Volume 1. So for all those that missed it, here it is. Collecting material from Journey into Mystery, 83 to 104. That's when he shared the title with other characters. And then Journey into Mystery 105 to 120, when he had the full title to himself. As well as annual number 1, $100. So that is coming out that week. And Doctor Strange also getting the reprint that week. So we have Volume 1, the Direct Market and Standard Edition are both collected that same day. And Volume 2 of Doctor Strange coming out that same day. Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads, collecting the 5-issue miniseries. I love that they're continuing this ongoing Peter David, Greg Land series in a series of miniseries. No matter what, let it keep going because it's such a good series. And I hope it doesn't end. And once it's... Okay, I do hope it ends so we can get an omnibus of it. The Marvels, Volume 1. This is the new series, the 2021 series, written by Kurt Busiek. This collects issues 1 through 5, and you have cover art in there from Alex Ross. We're getting the Winter Guard, Operation Snowblind. Now, this series is... I want to say it's spun off of the one-shot. It was the Winter Guard one-shot, I think. And that was the one that featured Yelena. So this is Devin Grayson, Ryan Cady writing it. And then you have artwork in here from Michelle Bandini and Jan Basaldua. So this does collect Widowmakers. That's what it's called. Red Guardian and Yelena Belova. And Winter Guard 1 through 4. So Yelena getting the spotlight ever since she was in the Black Widow. But it's Florence Pugh playing Yelena. Because Yelena's been around in the Marvel Universe for a long time. X-Men Hellfire Gala. Now, keep in mind, the Hellfire Gala that is coming out, this is the trade paperback format. This doesn't collect the entire event, because this collects Marauders 21, X-Men 21, Planet Size X-Men 1, Sword number 6, and material from Classic X-Men number 7. So rest assured that there's going to be another volume that wraps up X-Men Gala. Now, here is where we have some reprints. So I'm just going to go through these. The X-Men Omnibus Volume 1, this is where you're going to find the direct market cover. So this is, again, the classic Silver Age stuff. X-Men Inferno, this is where you're going to find the standard edition cover by Mark Silvestri. Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 is coming out. The direct market cover and the standard edition cover. Now, here's the thing. So the book, there's been a lot of questions about Volume 3 because a lot of retailers have gotten a copy of it. However, it didn't have the new spine. So they were wondering, is Volume 3 not going to have the new spine? I don't have an answer to that yet. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for them, everybody's on vacation during this time. So the people that could answer me that, I haven't heard back from. So once I hear an answer, I will let you all know, probably through the Saturday live stream, because the restock of Volume 3 that all the retailers got is the new restock, but it has the original spine. So these were supposed to have the new spines. So I don't know what's going on. Once I get a straight answer, I will let everybody know. New Mutants, Omnibus Volume 1. This is the direct market cover, only the McCloud cover. Infinity Gauntlet, the new printing, only the direct market cover, the Jim Starlin cover. Silver Surfer Omnibus, both the direct market and standard edition covers are going to be available here. And this is the corrected edition, by the way. And The Incredible Hulk by Peter David, Omnibus Volume 1, direct market and standard edition, also available that same day. Now, from DC Comics, we have All-Star Superman, the deluxe edition, collecting All-Star Superman 1 through 12, and Absolute All-Star Super... What does that mean? Absolute All-Star Superman. You can't... That's ridiculous. But anyway, this is $34.99. I find it interesting that this is $34.99, but the Batman deluxe editions have been $49.99. The Jeff Loeb ones. And it has the same page count. I don't know. But... Okay. I love this series. This is the series that really made me the Frank Quietly fan. I hated Frank Quietly's artwork, and it's still hit and miss sometimes, but I really dug this and his We 3. I think this was the series that made me appreciate his art. And of course, Grant Morrison. Phenomenal creator. We're also going to get the Crisis on Multiple Earths book 2. So this is the JSA meeting the Justice League. Len Wein, Jerry Conway, Carmine Infantino. A lot of the books collected in here from Justice League 91, 92, 100 to 102, 107 to 108, 113 to 124, 135 to 137, 147 to 148, and 159 and 160. So it's just that classic era before Crisis on Infinite Earths, well, was supposed to fix everything. Flash by Jeff Johns, Omnibus Volume 3. So, wrapping up Jeff Johns' run. It does orphan those issues that were not written by Jeff Johns. I think it was the Catherine Immonen, I think is the one that wrapped up the series with Stuart Immonen. Right before Infinite Crisis, but this has the era of Flash 1 through 12, the Rebirth in there, Blackest Night, Black Lantern Corps, and... that might sneak into my top 10. Top 10 is going to be hard this month. There's a lot of good books coming out, which is a good thing. Gen 13 Starting Over Deluxe Edition. So this is going to be oversized. $49.99, 352 pages. Collecting Gen 13 Lost in Paradise one-shot. Gen 13, the 5-issue series that kicked it all off. European Vacation, Blacklist, or Backlist, number 1. Gen 13, the ongoing series 0 through 5. Hope they collect all 13 covers, and Wildstorm Universe Sourcebook number 1, and Gen 13 and Encore number 1. As far as manga, we have Berserk of Gluttony, Volume 2. Had me at Berserk. Breasts Are My Favorite Things in the World, Volume 4. Now, I put that in here for a reason, because I asked myself, is that right? Is that how you would say it? Breasts are my favorite things in the world. Or would you say breasts are my favorite thing in the world? Melanie! Where's my wife?
I guess it's right the first time.
It's right the first time? English major. She has a master's in English. She would know breasts are my favorite things in the world. Volume 4. So that's the only reason I put it in here. Double graphic novel volume 1.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
No, she changed her mind. Hold on. Breaking news.
Breasts are a singular unit of sorts, so my favorite thing.
Breasts are a singular unit. I'll never look at them the same way again. Thank you. Double graphic novel, volume 1. I put that in here because it always shocks me, and it shouldn't. Tokyo Pop is still doing print to press. Even though they're not putting things out everywhere, they're still... It's like print on demand. So... whatever.
Are is a linking verb for multiple objects.
Okay, you know what? I'm done talking about breasts are my favorite thing. I think I've talked about that more than any other book now. No, we're good. We got this. Gal Gohan, Volume 10 is coming out that same week, as well as Gantz, finally. Delay after delay, but Volume 8 is coming out that week. From Denpa Books, we're getting Under Ninja Volume 1. This is by Kengo Hanasawa, and this is after World War II. Allied Command in Japan develop a new agency to help manage terrorism and violence within the Pacific region. Hey, I like that. That looks badass. I'll dig that cover. As far as other publishers, we have Falcons.
You say pants are my favorite things. You say pants are my favorite thing.
pants and breasts are different.
It's English.
I put my pants... Anyway. Falcon Spear, Dark Horse, Mike Mignola's series. I believe that this is set in the, what is it called? Mr. Higgins universe. So, our encounters with evil and, what was it? Mr. Higgins Comes Home. I believe that this is where that is set. And it's Mike Mignola. So, you know to expect greatness. Cruel Summer is getting a trade paperback edition from Image Comics. This is Ed Brubaker, Jacob Phillips, collecting Criminal 1 and 5 through 12. And Jupiter's Legacy, Volume 5 is coming out. This is the Netflix edition. As well as Made in Korea. This is by Jeremy Holt and George Shaw, collecting the first 6 issues of that. Korean 9-year-old named Jessie is adopted and sent to live with a lovely couple in America, socially awkward yet equipped with a seemingly encyclopedic brain. The young girl's journey through the complexities of race, gender, and identity hits a fork in the road when she discovers she's not entirely human. Alright, so she could be an AI system. I like that cover, so that's why I had to read it. I had no idea what it was. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 8 from Boom Studios. And then Flash Gordon Dailies, the hardcover edition, Volume 8, Radium Minds of Elektra. Illustrating Spain in the U.S. That looks like an interesting hardcover edition. Cartoon Utopia is coming out that week. E.C. John Severin Bomb Run. So you have Harvey Kurtzman in here, Will Elder, and John Severin, of course. This is illustrated by John Severin. What I was going to say is that this is published by Fantagraphics, and this is what I was talking about when I wonder how that works with Fantagraphics and Dark Horse with the EC material. Also from Fantagraphics, we have Grande Odalisque in hardcover format, and Land of the Suns in hardcover format. Monster Mind, hardcover, dealing with anxiety and self-doubt, published by Blaze Studios. Seems like they're publishing not just manga or European comics. This is by Alfonso Casas. Cover looks really interesting, honestly. We also have the Virtual Hero graphic novel. From Oni Press, we have Aquicorn Cove. I guess it's a unicorn. Not quite a unicorn that can swim. I like that cover, though. And Baby Teeth is coming out from Aftershock Volume 4, so hopefully they'll continue those hardcover editions. Charlie's Angels versus the Bionic Woman from Dynamite. Children of the Grave by Scout Comics. This is written by Sam Romsberg and Ben Roberts, and you have artwork in here from Gielli Filippo. I need to get more Scout Comics. I haven't gotten that many this past year. Dark Age, Volume 1, coming out in trade paperback format. This particular book here is published by Red 5 Comics, and it's written by Don Hanfield. I love that cover. And Greatest Thing from First Second Books is coming out. I love that First Second does this. So it comes out in both graphic novel and in hardcover format. This is by Sarah Winifred Surley, and it's written and drawn by her. So I love their books. You know, they didn't make any of my top 10 this year, but I need to fix that. Maybe next year. I didn't read enough this year is my problem. I didn't read enough of the First Second books. Killing Red Sonja. Looks like it's been pushed back to this particular... Sorry, I was looking at the next book. It looks like it's been pushed back because I think this was originally supposed to be in October. Milo Manara's The Golden Ass. Now, when you think of Manara, we're talking about the animal now, though, so that's why I was looking at the title going, oh, I like that. Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, Death of Nancy Drew. Whoa, spoiler on the title there. Nobody does that. Come on, like Death of Superman and Death of Doctor Strange. It's unheard of. How are you going to kill off Nancy Drew? No One Knows. This is by Black Panel Press. Salvatore Vivencio and Gianluca Nori are the creators behind this. What stood out was that cover. It looks like the For Kids Walk Into a Bank cover. Pre-Code Classics Adventure Comics Volume 4, both the slipcase and the hardcover are going to be available that same day. School Bites Studio Deluxe Edition. I love that cover. This is by Broadsword Comics, and Holly G is the artist on here. And it comes back with a mini limited art print of a 2022 reimagined Cherry Creeper. Space Bastards Special Delivery. This is the series by Humanoids. Not to be confused with the Space Bastards that was on Kickstarter. But this is Joe Aubrey, Eric Peterson, and you have the cover art in there by Glenn Fabry. To wrap up the month of January of 2022, what a way to kick it off, is Warlock 5 Omnibus from Comics Experience. And this is written by Gordon Derry and drawn by Dennis Belvas, I believe is how you pronounce the name. And that is an awesome cover. That reminds me of like Heavy Metal magazine and all that. So, if you're interested in some of these books, don't forget to check out our other sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They pride themselves on packaging your books so they arrive safely in an excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Check out the bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. CGN is excited to announce that they are now taking pre-orders. They're making it easier for you to ensure that you don't miss out on the hottest releases. CGN is currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, let them know that you were referred by near mint condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. This promotion is valid for U.S. customers only. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount and quality shipping and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those are the books coming your way in January of 2022. Don't forget that some of them, as of this video, might be pushed back until February, so keep that in mind. I'll be releasing my top 10 essential buys, must buys, or suggested reading for the month of January sometime this weekend, so probably on Sunday. And thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, ring that bell for notifications, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Check out our Patreon and Spreadshop. Great ways to support the channel. And thank you all. I will see you next year.